Good morning guys, it's Rachelle from Monolane Furniture again in Sydney. I don't know what the weather's doing today. It's a bit blah. It's alright, it's good for painting. Today we're going to have a look at this coffee table. I sanded it yesterday, the veneer top, so there was a video about that separately. So we're going to have a look at the rest of it now. Right, so you would have seen, or you may have seen my video from yesterday where I sanded the top because it's veneer. I wanted to do a separate video on that. So on this one, this video, I'm just going to concentrate on painting this, prepping this, painting it, and then staining or whatever I decide to do to the top. And then I'm thinking on the drawers, I'm going to do either decoupage or wallpaper. So I'll make that a separate video, so this one's not too long. So what I'm going to do on this one now, get my phone up there, I'm going to clean it down with white lightning. And then I'm going to, rather than scuff sand it, because it's a really sleek finish, I'm going to use ESP. So this is a no more sanding, firmly bonds paint to any glossy surface, even glass. So I'm going to wipe it over with that. So let's just get this cleaning done first. Thankfully this one survived the storm from last night. We had lots of rain, and even though I'm all covered up here, it was a storm, it was blowing in all directions. And for some reason I just haven't covered everything up, and I came out here in the middle of the night and just looked at it and was like, oh man, my sander was out, this was out, my staging stuff was still out, my rug mainly, that was still out, and I was just like, oh man. But it seems to be okay today. Harper, Akavi, Harper, stop. She's doing dog stuff that I always tell her is not. I always say it's not an indoor activity, but she's not indoors, so I can't really say that to her. That's for private room, that is, Harper. Right, so I'm just giving this a good clean over with the white lightning, and then I'll rinse it off, and then I'll go over it with the ESP. It's just got lots of dust on it from this storm, so it's best to clean it as much as possible. I should have taken the drawer pulls off first actually. Right, so I carry on cleaning this, and then I come back when I'm doing the ESP. Just found another gadget when I was opening this drawer so it wouldn't pull out. Usually these little slots either at the top of this or on the shelf that it's coming out from. This one has got this little lip here, can you see? So you have to push that down in order to pull the drawer out. There's different things everywhere. Just when you think you've seen it all, there's something new. Right, so this battery just died or something, so I'm not sure what's been recorded and what hasn't. I'll have to go through it later. But anyway, I want to fill these holes. And sorry, I'm just looking at Harper. She's rolling in a dead worm. She's all class. I'm using Dixie Belle mud. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself here, but I just don't know what's been recorded. I've got a feeling that I had it recording when I thought it wasn't, and vice versa. So God only knows what I'm going to end up with. This might be the first you've seen of this of this piece of furniture. It might not have been recorded at all. Anyway, right, so I'm going to do this first pass. I'll wait for it to dry, and then I'll go over it again. Even though it's going to be covered with either decoupage or wallpaper, I still like to know that it hasn't got those holes in that can be punctured. Right, now I am going to go over the piece with, drawers just falling over, with ESP. Where is it? There, for those who haven't seen it before, I got this from Bunnings, ESP Easy Surface Prep. So I prefer to use something like this when I'm working with a really shiny surface, because if I scuff sand it, I'm going to actually create a texture that I don't want. So I think this is probably a better option. Any primer would also be good. I know that Vintage Bird have got, I think it's called BSB, their product. Carts and Millie have got a product, I don't know what it's called, but I've just ordered it because I've only just found out about it. And then Purico have got a base blocker, which I assume is a similar thing. Anyway, a pair of undies. ESP and rub it on. And then you have to wait 90 minutes for it to dry. Which is hard for me because, you know, 90 minutes. What could I do in that time? I could do a set of bedsides that time. I haven't got any though. Oh, I have got a desk, a little desk. I might give that a go. Right, I'll get on with this. Come back when I'm ready to start painting. And when I've decided on the colour. I haven't got a clue what colour I'm painting them yet. Or the top, not a clue. Everyone else plans these like weeks in advance, buys the products. I don't. I've always been like that with my life though, with everything. It's all good. Right, I'll come back to you. Okay, in true me fashion, I was going to go dark. I didn't know what dark, so that's why I went with the ESP and no primer. I've changed my mind, of course. I forgot about this new colour that I've been wanting to use from Purico. It's Purico, oh man, hang on. Fossil, F-O-S-S-I-L. And it's like a beige, I guess. That's probably the best description. Still don't know what I'm going to do with the top. I'm thinking probably Cartes and Millet Shed Door. I don't know. Or maybe how now. I don't know. But because I'm going with a light colour, and because this is a shiny surface, even though I put ESP on it, CSP, man. Even though I put clearly I can't say that. ESP on it, it's a dark surface, it's a shiny surface. I'm going to prime it. So I'm using the Purico grey primer, not the white. I haven't got any white, but I think this is probably going to be a better base for it anyway. So let's go. I actually like the grey primer. I think it's just my a version of white. Anything that's got white, I'm like, yeah, no, can't do that. So this is quite nice. It's just like a thick white grey paint. Seriously, something wrong with me. And I have decided I'm going to do wallpaper on the drawers, so I've cut, they're not anywhere near size. All I've done is cut them so that I know that the pattern is going to be the same on each, and then I'll trim it off. That's irrelevant, nothing to do with this really, so I'm going to do a separate video. There you go. Right, I'm using my sleek 38mm brush, and I'll use this for the paint as well. Probably I'll just clean it off, and I'm going to go all around the edges. I'm a little bit nervous about this top, having to sand it off, but I'm only going to smooth sand it, and I will just be sanding the paint off. So it's just going to be a case of being really careful. So let's get some of this on, and then I'll leave you to make yourself a cup of tea while I do the rest. I hate painting Queen Anne style legs, just as a side note. I don't know why they're not hard, but they just seem to take a lot of paint. More paint than most. It's all the curves. But this primer's given me good coverage, so that's good. I'll just do one coat of this, and then we'll see how much the Fossil will take. I've opted to go with a Purico one because I want to have the top coat built in, so when I paint over the wallpaper, it's got that top coat already, so I then don't have to put a seal on top of it. And that's obviously true with any of the mineral paints. I just really like the finish of the Purico. So when you're painting over top of the ESP, you can actually feel it. It gives the furniture a totally different feel, so you don't feel anything sleek. It actually feels like it's rough. It doesn't when you're touching it, but when you're painting it, you can feel it. Maybe that's just me. Probably. You know the drill. A little bit of a loon. Right, I'll carry on and get the rest of this done. I'll come back when we're doing the painting. Right, let's check out this Fossil. Hang on. Let me make my space. So, as with any of the mineral paints, you need to stir them well. They've got the built-in top coat, which I almost said floats to the bottom again then. Will sink. Something will sink. I don't know if it's the pigment or the top coat. Either way, it needs to be stirred in. Harper, Bailey, can you stop barking and do my head in. One's barking or one's sniffing to try and get next door. 38mm sleek brush. Oh, I'm distracted. I've got floaters in my eye at the minute. Oh, that's good coverage. Ooh. I'm always really mindful of floaters in my eye, so when I see them I get a bit panicked because I've had a spontaneous detached retina before, and that is one of the signs, and flashes, which I have those still. But you know, that's like, this is really good coverage. Do you know what? I don't even know that I would have needed to do the primer looking at this, but it won't hurt that I did. That's really good, isn't it, for a light colour? I'm liking that. Right, I'm going to get stuck into this, and then while I'm doing this I'll think about what colour I'm going to do to the top. What do you reckon? I think the one of the carts in Millie is going to be either How Now or Shed Door. Bailey, can you hear that? She just sniffs at next door constantly. Bailey, it's not going to help you to sniff her. She's not going to be able to get across. Right, let me get on with this. I'll speed it up, you can watch me, listen to the music. Right, that's the painting on, and the colour is beautiful, and the finish absolutely stunning. So this is 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of paint, and it's actually come out, it's more like a greyish. I'd say this is perfect for kids' bedroom furniture. The reason I say that is I'm doing a tall boy for a charity raffle for Heart Kids, I think it's called, and I'm going to do it in this colour, because this will appeal to both girls and boys' bedrooms, and it's beautiful. Yep. Okay, now to look at this sand in the top. Right, now here's where things could go wrong. This veneer is really thin. All I want to do is take the very top off it to smooth it off and to get rid of the paint on the edges. The other reason it could go wrong is this was rained on last night. I can pack away. This was rained on. I haven't switched it on yet. So, again, if you see me collapse to the floor, follow Lambos. Okay, thank you. Forgot to mention, I just use a 240 grit sandpaper when I'm doing the smooth sand. I say that on every video, but I know that not everyone watches every video, so better to know in every video, I guess. Right, that's come up really nicely. It's still pretty patchy, but honestly, I'm not game enough to sand anymore. This veneer is so thin, I'm just going to run with what I've got here now. So, it's smooth sanded. Now I'm going to hit the... Oh, I need to sand that little bit there. Hang on, I'm going to turn the speed down. There's just a little bit of paint there. So, because there really isn't an edge, a definite edge here, I'm going to tape it off. You know, I hate doing that, but I'm going to tape it off and then I'm going to stain. So I'll come back when I've stained that and I'll just speed it up. You seeing this? So I'm using Cards & Millie washed away stain in How Now, and I'll also use the Cards & Millie satin top coat. So rather than me talk my way through that, I'll just speed it all up for you. Right, I forgot to record as I was putting this stain on, but now that it's on, it's a little bit more patchy than I would like. So I'm going to go over it with, where is it? Oh man, oh there it is. I'm going to go over it with Purico Midnight. I've just tried it on a little spot over here, and I like over there, and I like how it brings out this grain, and it'll sort of disguise the unevenness. So let's have a go. So this is How Now on there at the minute, and I'm just going over top with Midnight. Yeah, I like how that's bringing out the grain a bit more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and go with the grain. Obviously that's what you need to do. So I'm going to go with the grain as much as I can. But you just have to remember to do it. My memory's not great. I forget. As soon as I think of something else, I forget what I'm doing. But anyway, I'm going to keep going through this now. And just put this over the top. But isn't that nice how it's bringing that grain out? Right, I'll come back to you when it's all done. I might even mix some more grain and with some more stains in yet. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting there kind of, but this patchiness is doing my head in. If it wasn't such a really thin veneer, I would just sand it and we'd be right, but I just can't do it with it. So now, I really love it with the black on top of it, but this is still patchy. So I'm just going to play with the patchiness really and sort of enhance it more than try and hide it. So I'm going to go over top now with a bit of cuttlefish, which is white. I may be about to ruin this, guys, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just want to see what it does with this grain. So we're getting a proper whitewash effect on this now. I'm going to go over the whole thing, and then I'm just going to keep playing with it, guys. Sometimes you just have to. Okay, leave it with me. I'm just going to think I'm nuts. So I've done that white over it, which didn't look great, but now it's going to give me this texture that I want. See all the grains? Right. Leave that with me now. I will come back once this part one is over. I got there in the end. It wasn't what I had envisaged at the beginning of the project, but I'm really happy with that look. It's almost giving it a little farmhouse look, an old farmhouse look. I love it. I really love it. So here we've got the veneer, then we've got How Now, then Midnight, then Cuttlefish, and then I sanded it back. Now I just need to add a top coat. I'm happy. Here she is, all finished and ready for photos. You see that the drawers are in there and they have been wallpapered, but I've done a separate video on that. So that'll be tomorrow. I just thought it'd be easier to have a separate video so that I can just refer people to when they're asking about that. So I'm really pleased with how the top came out. It wasn't what I was looking for at all initially, but I love it. I'm really happy with the bit of a farmhouse look on it. So over the moon, and this colour is just beautiful, and the finish, oh well, it's just like all Purico colours. It's just beautiful. Anyway, I'll get some photos of this and we're done.